So Norman, the IV ban came into the UFC on October 3rd. Firstly, is this something that will affect the way you cut weight, or did it not bother you at all? Or
At the start, initially at the start, I knew there was an uproar about people like rehydrating, like it makes you feel good quicker, gets all the fluids back into your body quicker. But there's a lot of research. I was chatting to the head of the UFC athlete development, Jeff Novinsky. He's the UFC side of the USADA. He was saying like you could feel good and you could be fully hydrated around your body, but your brain can never be hydrated. You maybe feel good around your body, but I said to him on fight day, you never feel 100%. You never feel right. So, and that's because your brain's not fully hydrated. And so I said this time I've been a lot lighter for my weight cut. I'm only like 8 to 10 pound out, so which is good, and I feel a lot better, a lot more energy, and then you're going to perform better. So the way I see it, if you be a bit more strict and be a bit more professional about it and get your weight lower, then you're going to come into the fight at the same weight as your opponent as well. You're going to come in at the same weight, and you're going to be like a level playing field. You're going to be at the same weight, and you're going to feel a lot better. I know that IVs, like in a way, it's boys. They can manipulate the way they cut the weight. They can say, all right, sure, I can cut a little bit more water, just get the IV, I'll feel fine. But you can feel good and get everything back into your body. But how about you be more strict and get your weight to a certain point, and you're fit and healthy the whole time? Then you're cutting as little water out of your body, and then you're just putting the 8 to 10 pound, what boxers would do, 8 pound maximum back into your body, and then you're good to go. So
it's just about fighters getting better educated on how to cut better, and as well, I was thinking how the IV ban, it's also a deterrent. It's a deterrent to stop people cutting weight that they wouldn't be able to do without the IV ban.
yeah, but not only that, I never knew that the IV can actually hide the diuretics that hide that mask the performance enhancement drugs. I never knew that until I spoke to Jeff Novinsky and he said that, and I was like, all right, well, if that's the case, then so be it, because you'll see a lot of boys coming in not as big, not as ripped, not as solid, and everything's level. There's no cheat here or cheat there. You're fighting that boy as close to the weight what you're at, and you know that it's level playing field. And plus, but it makes sense. At the start, I was kind of a bit iffy about it because I had the IV since I joined the UFC, and don't get me wrong, when you're sucked in and you get 2 liters IV in the space of half an hour, you feel like a new man. You feel like you never even cut the weight. So that's that side of things is making you feel good, but your brain's never hydrated. You can get all them fluids to your muscles and your organs, but it's never up around your brain. And so simple, just diet longer, get your weight lower, and cut little water, and that's it. So that's what I done for this fight.
And also, a week or so ago, as I mentioned a moment ago, you shared the IMAF article with Hallie Nelson advocating for weight gain restrictions after the weigh-ins. So fighters, for example, could only put on 10 pounds after they weigh in. So it makes the weight disadvantages a bit better. And again, it acts as a deterrent from people who are cutting a bad amount of weight that they can't put on again comfortably. So what are your thoughts on weight gain restrictions after the weigh-ins?
Well, I know in boxing, I think I read an article about. I'm not too sure it was fighting. I read an article where I was chatting to someone who said that this guy was. They come back and he weighed in or whatever, and his limit was 155.5. They come back into the fight, and by that night after the weigh-in, he was 155. So he had the whole of the next day not to put on any more than point 0.5. I'm not too sure if he made it or not, or if he stayed under that bracket, but you can see there that they're only allowed to put on a certain amount of weight back on in a certain space of time, and I agree with that, yeah, because that means everybody's like, say me, I'm 155, I fight at 155, so I say I'll come back into the fight, which I always do. Every time I fight, I come back in about 170, okay? Now, if you look at featherweight, I know featherweights are cutting the weight and coming back in at 170 from featherweight, so I'm weighing basically the same as them, so, and that's a lot of weight to be cutting and putting back on to your body. Like, it's not good. Like, I can see fighters coming in back in big and strong, and then they're getting knocked out. They're getting knocked out because the brain's never recovered right. They may be big, like their body's filled out, but their brain's never recovered. So I feel that that's a good idea to bring the opponent back in, both opponents back in, say 155, come back in at an extra 10 to maybe 12 pound or something like that. So when I step into the fight on Saturday night here, I'll be about 168 to 170, and I still feel like there's one time before when I fought in Australia, because I went away underweight and I'd cut a huge amount of water in my body. I was like 8.5 kilos or something of water, like that's crazy. And then I came back into like 82 kilos. Like I know loads of fighters who come into the UFC like at 82 kilos, and I'm like, fuck me, man, that's tough. Like, just think of what your body's going through, So if you cut that all out, and have a level playing field where everyone's coming in at the same weight and at the same, they're cutting the same amount and they're coming back in around the same weight, then that's fair enough. That's level playing fields. That's the way I see it, and I'm sure everybody else sees it like that. So
I think we can conclude the IV ban is a step in the right direction, but do you think there's more steps to be taken, more logical steps to better the sport still when it comes to weight cutting, weight gaining, and weight on fight night?
well, the way I see it now, because you got to adapt. The way I see it now, everyone freaked out about the IV.
But you used IV and you've got past it already.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, you got to adapt. So the way I see it is, you diet and get your weight to a certain level and keep it there and stay strong. Don't fucking balloon away up to, like, if you're at 155, don't go away up to 190 pound or 200 pound. I never in my life been any more than 185 pound. Never. I tried it to see if I could do it, but it's physically I couldn't do it. But so I thought, right, okay, I'm going to keep my weight about 175 the whole time, even when I'm not training or when I'm out at camp, So 175 the whole time, and that's the way I've did. So then it makes it easier for the body, because if you're cut, say if you get like a 6-week training camp, and you're at 175, that's an easy way for you to cut and get your weight down gradually. Whereas, what if you come in with like a 6-week camp and you're at 185 or something like that? That's a lot of stress you're putting your body through in your mind. So you're always constantly worrying about your weight. So why didn't you just clear that problem up and get your weight at a certain weight each time, and then you ain't get the problem and just get it lower? And that's the way I've done. So, and I feel good.
Thanks a lot for the insight, Norman. Brilliant.